When my girlfriend, Chloe, led her college debate team to win the huge national championship, the fact that I had a stutter came out and everyone found out. Her biggest fans cornered me in the back room of the gym, making fun of me and telling me I wasn't good enough for her. Before this, Chloe was always right there with me, ready to yell at anyone who dared to mock me. But this time, she wouldn't answer my phone call. I was trapped, forced to repeat silly tongue twisters while they poured soapy water down my throat. I walked back to my dorm completely soaked. That's when I found out that she was actually at the victory party with her teammates, and she was with a sophomore from the Glee Club. She had once mentioned that he sang beautifully. I knew in that moment it was time for me to leave. My mouth was still full of the disgusting, soapy water. When the hand that was holding my chin finally moved away, I immediately gagged and threw up. "Hey, listen to that! He doesn't stutter when he pukes, haha!" He usually acts so mysterious and silent he never says anything. I actually thought he was some cool, quiet heartthrob. Laughter broke out all around me. A few guys were standing there, mostly hidden in hoodies and masks. They told me they were huge fans of my girlfriend, Chloe. Just yesterday, the final round of the debate competition between the two biggest universities was broadcast live. Chloe, as the team captain, was amazing and became instantly popular. People were posting comments everywhere online. "The third speaker is gorgeous and her arguments are perfect, a total MVP." I wonder what kind of guy is good enough for her. She has a boyfriend. He's the mysterious, good-looking guy at our school named Alex. Alex? Mysterious? Seriously? I went to high school with him. He stutters if he tries to talk too fast or for too long. That's the only reason he keeps his mouth shut. For real? How can a guy like that be good enough for Chloe? That same night, a few of Chloe's fanboys on campus pretended to be a professor and sent me a fake message to trick me into going to the equipment room. They tried to make me read tongue twisters out loud. When I refused to do it, they started pouring soapy water into my mouth. I managed to find a moment to quickly dial my emergency contact, but the second the call started to connect, one of them slapped the phone out of my hand and kicked it across the floor. The sound of the connecting call echoed loudly, making everyone tense. The screen lit up with Chloe's name. The guys standing in the circle looked clearly nervous. Does Chloe really not like him anymore? She usually treats Alex really well. Do you think she'll be upset if she finds out? Yeah, what if she actually answers? But almost instantly, the call was declined. Everyone, except for me, let out a huge sigh of relief. My heart felt like it had shattered. Tch, thought Chloe liked you so much. She definitely thinks you're annoying. That's why she hung up. I spoke slowly, making sure to say every single word clearly to argue with them. You are lying. She is busy. One of the guys picked up my phone and opened Chloe's contact again. I'll call her from my own phone. Let's see if she's really busy or just trying to avoid you. This time, the phone rang twice, and someone picked up right away. Hello? Who is this? A hand quickly clamped over my mouth, stopping me from making any sound. The guy holding his phone looked a little red and didn't dare to speak. Then a boy's voice came clearly through the speaker, sounding smooth and pleasant. Chloe, come up on stage and say a few words. Let us admire our MVP's grace one more time. Chloe answered with a soft, "Okay." And her voice had that sweet, gentle tone I knew too well. Then the call ended. Make him do the tongue twisters. If he doesn't, keep pouring the soap. Get some pepper water, too. Little stutterer, if you dare to complain when you get back, I'll post the video of you talking online. Let everyone see that our MVP's boyfriend can't even get a sentence out properly. Pathetic. I wasn't born with a stutter. When I was very young, I spoke perfectly, even reciting old poems and getting compliments from all the adults. This was true until I was 9 years old. Chloe woke me up from a nap. We snuck away from the adults and ran down to the river to play. Chloe lost her footing and fell into the water. She was choking, panicking, and looked like she was drowning. I was absolutely terrified. I ran back as fast as I could, crying and screaming for the adults to come and save her. In my panic, my brain seemed to stop working properly. The words came out all broken. Save. Save. Chloe. Later, when they finally pulled her out, I couldn't stop shaking and sobbing. She was fine, but the sheer shock had broken something inside me. I started to stutter. The doctor called it a stress reaction, a psychological problem that regular medication couldn't fix. Chloe felt so guilty. Because of that, all through school, she never left my side. She protected me. To avoid repeating sounds, I got into the habit of speaking very slowly, one word at a time. The rhythm sounded strange, and other kids would copy me, laughing behind my back. Chloe would get even angrier than I did. She got into fights with so many people because of me. Worried that she would keep getting into trouble, I started talking less and less. We stayed together through middle school and high school, all the way to the summer after we graduated. Chloe stood in front of me and said, "Alex, my feelings for you aren't just guilt." We started officially dating. The only thing I was better at than her was schoolwork. My test scores were high enough to get me into a top university, but I was too afraid to go alone. For years, I had been too ashamed to open my mouth. I hardly talked to anyone. I had no friends, and had practically lost all my social skills. It felt like I only had Chloe. A strange college campus without Chloe there would be a nightmare. So when Chloe suggested we both stay at the local university together, I agreed. College wasn't like high school. There was more freedom, and I felt relatively comfortable. Chloe joined clubs and made lots of new friends. She never introduced me to them. She said I wouldn't fit in well, so I just quietly read my books. Knowledge, after all, doesn't care if you stutter. Until now. Because I rarely spoke, people assumed I was distant or too full of myself. When that cover was ripped away, all that was left was deep unkindness. I think I'm starting to regret following Chloe here. Maybe Chloe regrets it too. The group of guys finished recording their video and finally left. I slowly got up and walked back to my dorm in my soaking wet clothes. When I walked in, my roommate only glanced at me, then looked away. I took off the wet clothes and took a shower. When I lay down on my bed, my phone made a sound. It was a message from Chloe. "Alex, I was really busy with something just now. Didn't see the call. Okay? Don't be mad. I didn't ignore it on purpose. Let's go to that new aquarium near campus tomorrow, okay?" I didn't reply right away. "Alex?" I stared at the screen for a while before I typed back. "Chloe, I know. You were at the victory party tonight. Did you think bringing me would be embarrassing?" The typing indicator stayed on for a long time. Then Chloe called. "Alex, how can you think that? I just know you don't like those kinds of big social events. I didn't ask you to come to protect you." "But you brought that guy you mentioned before, the one named Jake. You've mentioned him more than once. You said he sings well." I spoke very slowly, word by word, but I still couldn't stop myself from repeating a few syllables. My roommates looked up at me. Because of how I spoke, Chloe and I usually just texted. We rarely called unless it was really important. If she truly hadn't seen the call, that would be one thing. But I knew she saw it. She just didn't want to answer the phone in front of her teammates and Jake. She didn't want them to hear my stuttering voice at a moment like that. Jake was energetic, confident, and had a beautiful voice. He was someone she could show off. I wasn't. She thought I was shameful. Chloe's voice sounded a little panicked as she kept trying to explain. Alex, no, it's not like that. Jake just really loved our debate match, and he wanted to come to the event. It was just a casual thing, so I brought him along. Maybe realizing her excuse wasn't very good, her voice got quieter and quieter. Finally, she sighed. Alex, it's late. Can you just go to sleep? We'll go to the aquarium tomorrow. I'll explain everything properly and make it up to you. I gave a faint, okay. It was fine. I actually wanted to talk to her about leaving this school. Unfortunately, Chloe didn't show up the next day. Waited at the aquarium entrance for more than an hour. Chloe had vanished. My messages went unanswered. I called again and again, but no one picked up. I didn't know her friends and didn't have their contact information. It suddenly hit me. I didn't have a single mutual contact with Chloe in my phone. It seemed that ever since that guy Jake showed up, Chloe was rarely by my side. I crouched down, hugging my knees, and scrolled through my phone aimlessly. That's when I saw a video someone had posted on the school's confession wall page. In the video, my girlfriend was hugging another guy. The comments were full of people saying how touching the grand chorus was today. I tapped on the video. Jake was performing in the campus singer competition today. But when he got on stage, he couldn't sing a single word. It looked like he'd lost his voice. In the video, he stood helplessly on stage, looking around as if waiting for someone. A moment later, Chloe rushed in. She ran to the side of the stage and took a microphone from a staff member. Chloe, who was always so clear and logical, explained to the audience that Jake had practiced until midnight every night for this competition, which had caused vocal strain and temporary voice loss. She asked everyone to clap the beat for Jake and help him finish the song. Chloe was popular on campus, and people listened to her. Slowly, the clapping became perfectly synchronized, and the scene turned into a massive sing-along. Maybe relaxing helped, because Jake's voice finally came back enough for him to finish the song reasonably well. The cheers were deafening, the atmosphere was incredible, and the judges were clearly moved. They called it true school spirit, and even gave Jake a special award. In the video, the moment the song ended, Jake rushed off the stage and hugged Chloe. Chloe gently brushed the hair from his forehead, her eyes full of a kindness that hurt my soul. The video ended. Just as the playback finished, I finally saw Chloe running toward me, late. Her forehead was covered in sweat. "I'm so sorry, Alex, I'm late." I didn't speak. I just looked at her quietly. I didn't talk much, usually anyway. This was our normal way of being. But for some reason, she seemed anxious today. "Alex, can you please say something? It makes me panic when I can't hear your voice." "Is that so?" I thought it was funny. "Are you panicked because you can't hear me, or because you have a guilty conscience?" I rubbed my thumb against my phone screen and said to her, "I saw the video." It took Chloe a moment to figure out what I meant. Her expression became confused. She was usually so logical and precise, but she suddenly sounded unclear. Jake suddenly messaged me saying he lost his voice. I only rushed over to help him. You know how important this competition was to him. Plus, he's never dealt with something like that before, with so many people watching. Alex, have some empathy. Think about when you first started. Stuttering. Remember how hard that was? That comment felt like a knife tearing open an old wound, but Chloe clearly didn't realize it. She was still defending herself. "Alex, being late was my fault. But I just don't understand why you're so hostile toward Jake. I know you don't have friends and don't understand friendship, but do you have to control who my friends are too? Do you insist on making me just like you?" I might be a stutterer, but I'm not helpless. I couldn't out-talk her, but my hands worked fine. I ripped the seal off the boba tea I was holding and splashed it directly into Chloe's face. Saying every word clearly, I said to her, "Chloe, next, time, before, you, speak, use your brain. Know what to say and what not to say." Chloe stood frozen, letting the tea drip from her hair onto the ground. Her fists clenched and unclenched. Finally, she gave me a long, hard look, turned around, and walked away. After Chloe left, I got a call from the university administration. "Hello, Alex. Regarding the transfer materials you submitted previously, we need to verify something. Are you certain you want to transfer?" This time, I didn't stutter. I spat out 2 words with absolute certainty. "I am." Chloe and I were in a cold war. She sent me a message saying we both needed to calm down. She still insisted I was too unfair to Jake. "Alex, if you can't accept my friends, then I can't accept you right now either. I hope you understand that life is made of many parts. I can't just revolve around you all day. And I hope you understand, after all these years, I'm really tired." Honestly, I didn't understand. I never begged her to take care of me. When I first started stuttering, I didn't actually feel that bad about it. I thought if I gave it time, it might get better. It was Chloe who saw me like that and started crying, sobbing about how she had ruined my life. She even said if no one wanted to marry me, she would. Later, she was the one who told me she loved me, not just out of guilt, but a mix of love born from being like siblings and best friends since childhood. I thought we would spend our lives together. Unfortunately, the world is full of things that tempt you. I sighed, forcing myself to ignore these problems. I focused entirely on my transfer. During the 2nd semester of freshman year, Chloe had started getting obsessed with going out and was often gone. That was when I first thought about transferring. I gathered a lot of information online. Transferring universities is tough, but not impossible. My original test scores met the requirements for my dream school. I just needed to organize everything and have some money ready. Chloe didn't know this, but since starting college, I'd written quite a few articles. With some luck, several were published in respected magazines. It gave me a decent little savings account, so I wasn't broke regarding transfer fees. I wanted a change of scenery. I wanted to see what kind of person I could be without her. While I waited for the transfer to be approved, Chloe and Jake's relationship progressed quickly. They were like Siamese twins. Where one went, the other followed. You could always see their shadows side by side on campus. They both talked a lot, had the same hobbies, and laughed together. They truly looked like a couple in the honeymoon phase. Unlike when Chloe and I got together, because we were too familiar, nothing really changed from before we were dating. Whenever one of them posted on social media, the other would like it within minutes and leave a playful comment. The reason I could see their interactions was that on the first day of our Cold War, Jake added me as a friend. He messaged, "Do you know Chloe has always blamed herself for your condition? All these years she's been suffering inside." From Jake, I learned that Chloe had tracked down that high school classmate who called me a stutterer online. She called everyone in her contacts to find him and threatened to make him pay if he didn't delete the comment. "But you are a stutterer. You can't just silence everyone in the world, right? It's been so many years, and Chloe is still hurting because of your stutter." I was the one who told her to let it go, and she finally felt a bit better. If you really love her, you shouldn't be unable to tolerate my existence. Alex, don't be weird and petty. Do you seriously not realize you've always been a burden to her? My mouth might be slow, but my typing is fast. I guess I'm what people call a keyboard warrior. Burden or not, if I hadn't saved her back then, she wouldn't be alive to be burdened by me, let alone stand here listening to you drive a wedge between us. Naturally, Jake got mad. Chloe called and told me to apologize to him. I ignored her. Our Cold War continued indefinitely, until the day I stepped onto the grounds of a different university. Only then did Chloe realize I was gone. "Where are you? Why did your roommates say you moved out?" I replied seriously. "I transferred." "Are you crazy? Why would you transfer? How could you not tell me about something this big?" I sighed. "Chloe, I am an independent person. I can choose my own life. Besides, my transferring isn't hard to understand. My grades were good enough for a better school. I want to pursue that. There is nothing wrong with that." That was probably the longest string of sentences she'd heard from me since I started stuttering. She forced herself to listen patiently, but then argued with disapproval. "So what if you can go to a better school? Alex, you aren't like normal people. You need someone by your side. You can't even speak clearly. How are you going to survive in college?" I was silent for a moment, then said sincerely, "Chloe, I just stutter. I'm not mute. And even if I were mute, I'd have the right to enjoy life freely. It might be harder than for normal people, but I'm not afraid." "You say you're not afraid, but when you get bullied, I'm the one who has to fix it. Hurry up and ask the school if you can transfer back. Your parents won't agree to this either. Alex, can you stop making people worry so much?" I interrupted her, complaining. "Chloe, I already told my parents. They support me." It was true. Since the stutter started, I communicated less with my parents, too. Usually they just looked at me with sadness, speaking carefully to avoid upsetting me. When I applied for college and said I wanted to go to the same school as Chloe, they didn't object. But when I talked to my dad earlier, he told me, "Alex, your mom and I never dared to say what was best for you. When you chose to go with Chloe, we worried what if she changed her mind. But we also worried what if you went to a new school alone and got bullied without telling anyone. But no matter what, Mom and Dad support your decision. You didn't do anything wrong. You did a good thing. The stutter is just an illness. It's not your fault. Deciding to transfer makes us think you are very brave." Remembering my parents' words gave me the courage to debate the best debater. I pushed down the hurt in my chest. My speech was slow, but my tone was firm. "I'm not afraid. Even if they laugh at me, I'm not afraid. I did nothing wrong. I shouldn't feel ashamed. Chloe, let's break up. I never blamed you for what happened, and you don't need to carry such a heavy burden. Maybe we both need to choose our own new lives." I moved into my new dorm. Standing in front of the door, I took several deep breaths. I kept practicing the self-introduction I had prepared. Just as I got the courage to knock, the door swung open. A guy holding a basketball looked up at me in surprise. "Huh? New roommate?" Then from behind him, some unknown creature seemed to let out a high-pitched scream of excitement. Thump, thump sounds followed, like someone jumping from a bunk bed to the floor. "Ah, finally. The professor said a handsome guy was coming. Quick, don't just stand there, come in. Are you tired from the trip? Why didn't you tell us earlier? We could have come down to help with your luggage." I was hurried into the room, and the introduction I'd rehearsed vanished from my mind. I just stuttered through a greeting. "Hello, everyone." One roommate, clearly having no idea about personal space, patted my cheek. "Damn! Seriously handsome!" I got even more nervous, and the stuttering came out hard. I'm Alex. Anyway, I hope to get along with everyone." "That's the handsome guy for you. Even his way of talking is unique. I like it. I'm Tank. You haven't eaten, right? There's a spicy hot pot place on the second floor of the cafeteria that is amazing. Tons of sesame sauce. Put your stuff down. Let's go." "Yeah, if you don't like hot pot, we have other recommendations. Our cafeteria is famous. After we eat, we can show you around campus." I looked at the eager faces of the boys in front of me and smiled slightly. It seemed my new life at the new school wasn't going to be as terrible as I imagined. Actually, it was going to be great. The day after I broke up with Chloe, she and Jake officially got together. Jake posted a photo on his social media. It was a picture of their shadows overlapping. The caption, "Want to be intertwined with you every moment." In the following days, Jake showed off their relationship constantly. When Jake sang, Chloe would be in the audience, clapping along with a look of pure adoration. When Chloe led her team in debates, Jake would dress up, eyes sparkling, cheering for her from the stands. In a post-match interview, the host asked Jake, "Your girlfriend is so good at debating. What happens if you argue? You'll never win." Just as Jake looked awkward, not knowing how to answer, Chloe walked over, put her fingers through his, and took the microphone. "There's no scenario where he can't win an argument, because no matter who is wrong, I'll just unconditionally let him lecture me." They smiled at each other. To anyone watching, they looked like two people deeply in love. Jake clipped that interview and posted it to his social media. Overnight, the college couple's popularity skyrocketed. Taking advantage of their sudden fame, Jake moved their sweet daily interactions from private posts to public platforms like TikTok. In a few days, they gained nearly 100,000 followers. Comments poured in. "She's pretty, he's handsome, both talented. I ship it." Maybe because of the algorithm, Jake's new video posted a minute ago was pushed right to my feed. Unsurprisingly, it was more couple content. I casually opened the comments, expecting praise. But the top comment was about me. "Didn't someone say Chloe's boyfriend was a stutterer before? What happened? Did she swap him out?" I rubbed my finger over the screen. By the time I refreshed, the comment was gone. Jake had deleted it. I sighed and logged out of my social media accounts. I didn't want to pay attention to this anymore. I got up and went to the cafeteria with my roommates. I was adjusting well to life at the new school. I proactively told my roommates about the childhood trauma that caused my stutter, saving Chloe. I had prepared myself for mocking or pitiful looks. That's how people usually reacted. The result? They started worshiping me. "Whoa, Alex, that means you're seriously kind-hearted. You were that desperate to save someone." "Yeah, I gotta say, knowing the backstory makes hearing you talk sound kinda cool now." Because of their encouragement, I gradually became more confident. I talked and laughed more, and I called my parents more often. Life was getting better every day, until I found out that the video of me being bullied had been uploaded to the internet. Chloe and Jake were getting famous. As couple influencers, they even landed a sponsorship for electric toothbrushes. I guess the guys who bullied me before couldn't stand it. They were jealous of me before, and now they were jealous of Jake. So, out of spite, they released the video. But they used a fake account, and they changed the audio so only my voice was recognizable. They cut out the bullying part, leaving only the segment where I called Chloe. In the video, you could clearly hear Chloe hanging up on me, but immediately after she answered a call from a stranger's phone. Jake's voice is unique and easy to recognize. Their tone was intimate. Combined with their current status as a couple, it made people think. The account posted the video with a long caption accusing Jake of being a homewrecker who inserted himself between Chloe and me. That night was the victory party. Chloe brought Jake along and refused to answer Alex's call. As Alex's friends, we can't watch this anymore. We hope Jake has some shame and breaks up with Chloe. Chloe still had popularity from her competition, and Jake was a micro-influencer. The video was immediately shared by tons of students. The situation blew up. Jake, who usually posted constantly, went silent. I was actually curious what they would do. Then I got a call from Chloe. She said, "Alex, can you post a video saying that night at the party you asked me to bring Jake?" The dorm was quiet. I heard my own voice. "Why? Should I?" "Why? Do you know how bad Jake's mental state is right now? And we technically got together after we broke up, so how is that cheating?" Plus, your friends caused this mess. I didn't even know you hung out with such trashy people. You plotted with them to test me that night." I didn't explain my relationship with those bullies. Because while I was on the phone with Chloe, a familiar sound came from my room. It was the sound of me choking on soapy water, being grabbed by the hair and forced to stutter. Tank was sitting next to me on his phone. When I looked over, he frantically tried to close the video. Realizing I'd already seen it, he stopped struggling and hugged me, his eyes red with anger and sympathy. His phone screen showed a trending hashtag, #Chloe ex-boyfriend bullied. Someone had uploaded the full video. Previously, while Chloe and Jake were scrambling to prove their innocence, the internet's focus had shifted. People questioned the first video. "This looks edited. And doesn't Alex look weird? His clothes are soaking wet." "Yeah, and what college students hang out in a gym storage room? Something's off." While they were suspicious, another account released the unedited footage. The uploader claimed to be a roommate of the bullies who couldn't stand them anymore. He said they bullied him too. He waited until they were asleep, unlocked one of their phones, and posted the evidence to free himself and help me. I don't have any followers, so I was scared no one would see it if I just posted about myself. So I posted Alex's video, hoping the public would help me escape these guys too. I watched the video. My eyes were full of fear. I was stuttering at a phone screen, reading tongue. Twisters they found online. Every time I read a line, they laughed. In the video, my eyes were red, my voice choking. But only I knew I wasn't crying because I was being bullied. I was crying because I had seen the future of my relationship with Chloe. I watched it twice. My roommates surrounded me, looking helpless. Tank finally took the phone away. I looked up. He was crying. "Alex, don't watch it. Who did this? We'll find them. How can people be this messed up?" Maybe Chloe saw the video too. The call I had hung up on rang again a while later. I didn't pick up. Then her messages flooded in. "Alex, please answer. I didn't know you were bullied that night. Why didn't you tell me? Is that why you transferred and broke up with me? Because you got bullied on my account, but you'll get bullied at the new school too. Come back, please. I promise I'll take care of you like before. No, I'll do even better." I muted her. I scrolled through the comments. Sympathy, mockery, anger, everything was there. I turned to my roommates. "I want to make a video." It was night, so the lighting wasn't great. My roommates hyped me up from the sidelines. We uploaded it immediately. Wearing a shirt my roommates dug through 4 closets to find, I smiled at the camera and spoke slowly. "I am Alex. I have had a stutter. Since I was 9, I don't think this is shameful, and I don't think I deserve to be bullied or mocked for it. On the contrary, I think the people who bullied me are the ones with the problem. They look like normal people on the outside, but their hearts are incomplete. They are rotting and foul. One look at their souls would make you sick. They are the ones who deserve the world's ridicule and contempt." The old me was afraid to speak, afraid to make friends. I took the unkindness others threw at me and accepted it as something I deserved. I was punishing myself for other people's mistakes, but now I understand. The world is big. It is your hearts that are small. I still spoke in broken segments, word by word. But so what? It's kind of unique, isn't it? That's just Alex's way of speaking. The video sparked a massive conversation. The hashtag, "The world is big, your heart is small," hit the trending list. Many popular figures stood up to speak for me. People shared their own stories of being bullied. I got really fat as a kid because of hormone shots for an illness. I was bullied every day, called a pig. But I was just sick. My mom sold seafood. I always smelled like fish. They called me rotten jellyfish. Even the teacher laughed. I lost my legs in an accident. They called me half pint and said I wasn't even as tall as a pig. I decided that even if I was only half a person, I'd live better than those whole people. I taught myself dance. I bought my mom a house. I think I'm awesome. Alex, little bro, you're awesome too. Due to the public pressure, the school expelled the students who bullied me. After the storm settled a bit, Chloe and Jake's couple account updated again. Jake looked tired, eyes red, looking very sad. First, he clarified the cheating claims. When Chloe and I got together, they had already broken up. There was no affair. I saw Alex's video, and I sympathized with him. Then he quickly changed the subject to say I was destroying his relationship with Chloe. But that shouldn't be a reason for everyone to give him a free pass. Chloe finally moved on, but because of this bullying incident, she's been dragged back by the memories. Just because Alex saved her as a kid, does she have to owe him her entire life? Now my relationship with her is suffering. Because of her guilt toward Alex, she can't eat, and she even brought up breaking up with me. Shouldn't Alex feel guilty about that? This totally failed. The internet roasted him. Bro, I get it. I'm a gaslighter too. Are you psycho? What guilt? You mean the guilt where she introduced you to her team while dating Alex, took you to the party, and ignored Alex's call because she was feeling guilty? Talk about biting the hand that feeds. If not for Alex, your girlfriend would be 6 feet under. The netizens were furious. But technically there wasn't hard proof that Chloe was cheating with Jake while we were dating. Taking him to the party was a public event. Just then my old roommate stepped up. I was Alex's roommate. Back when Alex and Chloe were still dating, I went to the track to work out and accidentally saw Justin kiss Chloe. She didn't push him away immediately. Also, I can confirm Alex came back soaked that night. It must have been the night of the bullying party. The internet exploded. It ended with Jake deleting his account. The companies they worked with issued statements distancing themselves, likely demanding compensation. Chloe kept calling me. I never answered. Later, I saw her at the gate of my new school. She looked worn out. Seeing me, her lips parted, but no words came out. I spoke first. Chloe, did you need something? She was silent for a moment, eyes tearing up. Alex, I was wrong. That night, I just wanted to walk him back to the dorm, but he started talking about his family trauma. I felt bad for him, so I walked with him on the track. When he kissed me, I did push him away. I waved my hand, signaling I didn't care. I tried to walk past her, but she grabbed my arm, her voice trembling. Alex, I used to think I had to stay by your side to protect you. I never thought the person hurting you most would be me. Those guys who bullied you, I found them one by one and reported them to the school. They're packing their bags now. Of course, Jake and I are facing disciplinary action too. I don't know if hearing that makes you happy. I shook my head and pulled my arm free. Chloe, happy or not, your affairs have nothing to do with me anymore. Chloe laughed at herself. You're right. Your world is big. It was my heart that was too small. She tried one last time. Alex, are we really done? I know we can't go back to being lovers, but we're still family, aren't we? Chloe, I interrupted her. Do you know when I was most disappointed in you? Was it the day I was bullied and you hung up the phone? I shook my head. No, it wasn't the phone call. It was afterward. When you said if I didn't accept Jake, you wouldn't accept me. I know why you said that. It's because you thought I couldn't leave you. You relied on that to bully me. I watched Chloe's face turn pale. She stepped forward as if to stop me from saying the next sentence, but I said it anyway. Chloe, there is no going back, not to romance, not to family, not to the friendship of our childhood. I finished the long string of sentences. Chloe stood there dazed. My roommates, who had been waiting nearby in case I needed help, suddenly cheered. Tank rushed over and hugged me. The others followed. I looked at their tearful, joyful faces in confusion. "Alex, you just spoke! It was so smooth!" I suddenly realized it. That entire speech, I hadn't paused word by word. I hadn't repeated a syllable. I smiled, relieved. I put my arms around my roommates, and we walked forward together into the evening breeze. For a moment, I felt like I was back in that summer when I was 9. I heard my own voice. He said, "Chloe, go on by yourself. I'm not going with you. Chloe, goodbye."